Also tonight, a very dramatic story. You gotta listen to this one. Justice Department is laying out some details about this crime involving some big name rappers, Gucci Mane, and two other industry pros who were apparently kidnapped and robbed, according to the Justice Department, by Pooh Shiesty, by Big 30, along with some others. A total of 9 suspects have been arrested. So here's what we know. These DOJ officials say Gucci Mane was lured into what was a fake business meeting in Dallas at a music studio that turned into what they called an armed takeover, where Mane and these others were held at gunpoint. This is back in January. They got robbed of their Rolexes, their cash, their jewelry. At one point, Gucci Mane was even basically forced to sign a release from a record label. Priscilla Thompson is joining us now. It is wild stuff, Priscilla. What else happened?
Yeah, Hallie, unbelievable, made for the movies kind of stuff. So Pooh Shiesty is signed to Gucci Mane's record label. And so this business meeting was scheduled in January at a recording studio in Dallas. And Pooh Shiesty shows up with 8 other people. You mentioned Big 30. Also, his father was among those with him.
I'm on that Euro tour, like I said. I'm in Prague, going back to Paris tonight. But for everybody in my DM, Rose, what you think or how you feel about the Guwap Pooh Shiesty situation? I don't like it for either side. You know what I'm talking about? Guwap most definitely didn't deserve that, and I don't want to see this for the little homie Pooh Shiesty, but this one, be educated and understand. In business, you gotta negotiate, man. You gotta negotiate. If you were signed for $100K and now you got 10 M's on the table, it's time to negotiate. This how we do this. Boom, 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 boom. Everybody win. Let's go. That's how I gotta go, my nigga. You can't muscle your way out of no business. It don't go that way. And I ain't just talking about on the people's side, but on the other side, the blitz gonna come. You can't run from it, homie. That's the way it goes. Negotiate. It's time to educate. I wanna see young hustlers from the South win. I wanna see it. There was a time I got Gotti and Guwap on the phone together. Us 3 on the phone, nigga. And it ain't nothing to discuss. It was no disrespect. It was no raised voices. Rose just wanted to plant that seed. And I understand one phone call may not fix all the situations, but you want to plant that seed where niggas may be able to move forward one day, get some paper one day. The CMG 1017 tour one day, that was Rose mindset. And I wish nothing but my homies the best. When it come to business, let's negotiate. Niggas can't take the streets to the do. Get a life sentence with that shit, nigga. Let's get to the B's.
Yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition of Urban Politicians TV. UPTV, make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in, and the rain is coming down right now. It's that time of year in H-Town. If you from out here, you already know. It was hot earlier, kind of had a little breeze. It be crazy out here. Came with a breeze, then it started drizzling and raining, then it stopped, sun came back out, and now it's trying to come down again, but we got to get the job done regardless when it comes to this here, as y'all see right there, Rick Ross decided to weigh in. And I had a link in the description where y'all can watch that clip at the beginning in full and on NBC. And I'll just keep seeing more news coverage of this on major platforms, even to the point she called Gucci Mane, as in I ain't never heard nobody call Gucci Mane. But they like, hey, you got to talk about this, whether you hip to the hip-hop culture or not. You got to get hip real quick and cover this story, as right there what Rick Ross has talked about is the contract negotiations, and that's what this was based on. As the more and more information came, the rumors was already sparking back when we first heard it months ago, but Pooh Shiesty tried to do a 1995 style move to get himself out of his contractual agreements with Gucci Mane, but the game don't work like that no more. Just keeping it all the way 100, and it's different than what we saw with Death Row and those type of stories where everything wasn't recorded and people kind of kept it where it was at, and then you also was on federal probation, parole, whatever. At that, it was no way as a cold day in hell you was gonna get away with this at all. And to be clear, what Rick Ross is saying is the play for the long run. That is the move for the long run. I do understand what he's saying, because doing what he did, that is not an alternate for guys that's 18, 19, 20, 21 to 25 to 26. Trust me, once you get older, you'll realize that this right here is not worth it, and it was never going to be in your favor. I do hate that out of them 9, nobody could come up with that it's no way we're going to get away with this. It's not going to happen for us. When you also have other witnesses there. You have cameras everywhere. They know Pooh Shiesty's exact location at all times, if I'm not mistaken, where it's, even if he didn't have an ankle monitor on, but they most definitely know his whereabouts. They gonna figure out. They got cell phone data, all that. They know where he at if he picked up the phone or if he had this phone on him. Just know that. So it's just one of these things where you got to think about it. Now, true, I'm not gonna act like I was in his shoes. I'm pretty sure, just keeping it 100. I'm gonna just keep it 1,000. I'm not in the know. I didn't talk to nobody. I'm not in the industry, but just off the history, I would think that his contract was bad, and he most definitely had 10 times the value of what he originally signed for. But when you decide on them dotted lines, that's the overall weight of this thing. So they can make you play the waiting game. Now, I don't know him and Gucci's conversations, they back and forth. I'm pretty sure it got to a point where Gucci didn't want to just let him go. And then people got to know, when you're trying to buy yourself out your contract, if they thinking about it, they're going to make you pay what you're worth now to them, not what they signed you for. If I signed you for 30, 40,000, there is no just give me 60,000. Or sometimes, depending on the amount, depending on how hot you are, the situation, or how much they invested, they might say, give us a little bit more of our losses and we good. Double up on whatever, this and that, cover these fees, cover that, and we good. But in Pooh Shiesty case, you came home hot as fish grease. You had one of the major impacts of your future was very, very high. You wasn't finna get out and get by for just a little bit in a small fry. You was gonna have to really drop a major bag, and they still was gonna take them down through there. That's just how the masters come into play. But people gonna say, the contracts, you should have read them. You should have read them. Pooh Shiesty wasn't no rapper for real, bro. Let's keep this stuff 100. Just from afar, I don't know for sure. I didn't feel like Pooh Shiesty was really trying to be a rapper when he came into the game at first. Like, I didn't look at him like he was in the studio 8 hours a day chasing his dream as an artist. But he had a sound, he had a flow, the authenticity is there. And if you listen to the First Day Out lyrics, they is crazy. Just hitting it all the way just like that. But this is wild. Big 30 involved, his pops involved. They say Big 30 recorded him signing it, and I don't think they recorded it as in like, let's record it like so the world can see. They recorded it so it could be like evidence that he signed the contract. Like, hey, yeah, he really signed and released Pooh Shiesty, so we won't have nothing, no type of discrepancies on this thing. But they got camera footage at the studio, cameras footage there, cameras footage at the hotel. All of the people is in the same place, the same time. It's hard to beat that type of crime. Just keep it all the way 1,000. Pooh Shiesty it's gonna be a fight. He's innocent until proven guilty, but we'll see what's what. Ross say he did also try to get Yo Gotti and Gucci on the line and try to squash their issues, but I don't know, bro. This is wild. Tell me what y'all think. We got more coming, more videos. Tap into that Urban Politics TV Patreon. We got part 2 of this right here addressing this. This is an educational segment, and we got more of that dropping, and we got some more stuff coming to Patreon. Stay on your pivot.